What is up, y'all? Manny Carrera, your real estate resource, and this is episode number 30 of Whiskey Wednesday podcast session, where we sit with entrepreneurs, influencers, movers, and shakers over a glass of some fine whiskey. Today, I'm going to be joined by fitness experts and gym owners, Shane and Lizzie. What is going on, guys? Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for being on the show, and thank you for coming on and drinking some whiskey. I know you guys are probably against this stuff.
Well, I've never had straight whiskey, so it's like
really? Okay. So Lizzie told us before the show that she only drinks whiskey if it's mixed.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be featuring Texas whiskey, one of my favorites, one of my sister's favorites actually, and my personal favorite, Basil Hayden's Dark Rye. This has a really good taste, but actually I'm looking around the table, we're all drinking Texas whiskey right now. So me and Shane have already taken a sip. Lizzie's taking her first.
Sure.
Tell us what you think.
Oh my gosh. I told you. It's super strong.
It's strong.
I didn't expect it to be so strong because I see people drinking it in like the glass like
movies.
nothing in the movies.
All the cowboys,
Yeah.
why are they drinking that stuff?
Like
It must not be real. The movies.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah.
In the movie, you just drink real whiskey.
They drink
Right?
it really easy.
So what do you guys usually drink if you do go out?
Vodka club soda.
Vodka club soda?
Yeah.
Vodka
Our
doesn't have no
margaritas if
calories,
we're in
right?
our off season.
Oh, yeah? Off
We go on
season?
vacation, it's margaritas.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, really excited to have you guys on. I've been following you guys for some time. You guys are super active on social media. It's really good to see people utilizing social media the right way and really getting their brand out there. You guys own a gym here, Sun City Athletic Club as well. So kind of introduce yourselves to the people that don't know who you are, unfamiliar with yourselves. Who are you and what do you do?
Do you want to go to me?
No, ladies first.
Okay. So
Gentlemen.
me and Shane have been together now for what, 10 years?
Yeah.
About 10
Going
or
on
11
11
years.
years.
Going on 11. So we just started dating and I had never really been into fitness or anything before. I was always active, but I was just very skinny. I had no body shape or anything. And then when I met him, he was a personal trainer, and so he's like, "Hey, like, come let me train you."
You've always been like this.
Yeah. And I was attracted to it. I liked his muscles.
Yeah.
But so I started teaching me about lifting and stuff like that, and then he was like, "You know what? There's no good girl personal trainers here in El Paso." He's like, "And women want to be with a woman trainer to make them feel more comfortable and everything." So he was like, "You should do it." So I got certified. I got into it and started doing really well. A lot of ladies wanted to train with me, and then I started doing the bikini competitions, and I became a professional competitor. So I won like all of the competitions that I ever did. And,
really?
That's
That's
won
awesome.
a national competition on my first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
So
never lost.
yeah, so I went to
That was
national
fate,
shows.
huh? Because you were already into this stuff.
Yeah, it took
Yeah,
me
he
like 2
had been
years to
bodybuilding for what,
yeah.
a long time before he met
Yeah,
me.
it took me like 3 years to win first place.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a.
It
freak
takes
of
a lot of
nature.
work, right? I don't
Oh
think
yeah,
people
some
really
people are just
know
born with
that.
amazing genetics, you know.
Yeah.
Us Mexicans, we have to
And I
work
have
hard.
a
What's
fast
up?
metabolism.
It's like, I'm just meant to do this.
Yeah, so I've been competing professionally and traveling and everything, so that's been really cool. And then we opened up our own gym because we had been working at a few other gyms and we didn't really like one thing from the gym we didn't like this, or we did like this, but it didn't have it at another gym, so it was Shane's dream to open up a gym. So we just buckled down. We were eating just tuna and doing $1 Red Box movies and saving up money. You know, we got a treadmill. We would put it in our apartment. We got an elliptical. We would put it in our apartment until we had enough equipment to open up a small little studio.
Yeah, we got no loans or nothing. We just started like with a little garage.
Little by little, picking up equipment.
Yeah, when I started personal training when I was like 21, 22 as a job just to get me through college. Then I finished and I went criminal justice. I had a criminal justice degree from UTEP. And I was like, okay, what do I do now? So I got a job at the finance department at Casa Nissan. And I was there for 3 years, just a desk job from 9 to 5. And everything I was learning, all the sales skills on how to treat customers, customer service, how to close deals, I was like, man, I could use these sales skills in what I was doing. If you apply those sales skills, you can apply it to anywhere, any type.
Sales is everything. Sales is life. Kids are salesmen. They're convincing you that they want that snack and why they deserve this toy. It's like everyone, I think personally, is a salesperson.
And then the car dealership, they teach you, okay, who are you gonna need? Who do you need to close, the husband or the wife? Boom, you're like establishing a report. And
establishing
boom,
who's
the
the
wife.
dominant.
Yeah, it happens.
Who's in control of this?
In the homes, it
Yeah.
probably happens all the time.
Yeah. I
You
figured that
tell
out
the
too
wife
really quick.
or
I'm
the
like,
husband.
I'm gonna
The
talk
wife.
to this person
Yeah.
a little bit more.
You'll be like, oh yeah. What was it? What do you mean, man? Yes, you know.
So you have the wallet, you have the
Yeah.
decision making. Okay.
And yeah, so I would always tell myself, man, if I would apply this to personal training when I was a personal trainer, and when I was personal training through college, I didn't take it as serious because it was just like a regular job. But as soon as I got a 9-to-5 job at a cubicle, that's when I realized, like, man, I had it made. Like, I don't want to go back and say, oh man, you just feel like you're making an impact on the person's life.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing how people are just insecure, or they get bullied by themselves, thoughts in their head, you know. And it's amazing what fitness just transforms a person. To have
Confident. It gives that level of confidence.
Yeah, confidence. Right? They start their outlook on life being positive.
Their relationships
Like
get better.
it's really hard to find that in a job and get paid for it, you know. And I found that in personal training. Well, what happened was that I was training at certain gyms, and like Lizzie said, that I just saw different vibes were bad. Like the only cool thing about the cool thing about having your own business is that you make the decision on who works with you. It's like if you were to get your own real estate firm, okay,
Right.
I want to just hire these agents.
Right.
I just want positivity in my life.
You get to create your own culture.
Exactly.
Right?
So we have 10 amazing people that have stuck with us through the thick and thin, and we've grown our business so well with them, you know. And some of them have left and opened their own gyms, and they're doing well too. And no, because that's what we wanted. And then we got into this. We started with a small studio, and we've been growing and growing, and little by little, just being patient, being disciplined with spending the money. You know, because when you have your own business, you're like, all this money, but you have to reinvest it.
Yeah, it goes back in, right?
Oh yeah,
I think 2 years into real estate, this will be coming into January, this is gonna be my 3rd year, and this year is the year that I make profit. This is the year that I make money.
Like the first 2 or 3 years, we
Yeah.
didn't go on any vacations.
Oh, yeah.
We just stayed.
She
like,
was driving, I remember at the time, she was driving like a little Toyota Camry, like all beat up, and she would tell me, oh, I want a better car. And I was like, just wait for me, just wait 1 more year. I would tell her, I could get you any car you want, just wait for me. And we stuck through it, you know?
You guys been doing this for 10 years.
10 years. And one of my friends from out of town sometimes comes to visit. She's from New Orleans, Desiree. And she's always like, I'm so proud of you that you're making a living from working out here in El Paso. You know, like
doing what you love.
Yeah, but also making a living in a city that's known to be an obese city. Like things are now changing right now. Right now, like is the best time to be moving here. You know,
that's exactly what we were just talking about. In the periods that I got goosebumps when you said that everywhere. But I personally love El Paso, and I think that right now, this city is about to experience the biggest boom it's ever experienced.
There's a video that I saw on Facebook. I don't know where I saw it, but it described El Paso as a reborn. El Paso.
Really?
It's a video, and it's reborn. And I was talking to Lizzie when we were driving, and I was telling her, that is totally how I feel. Like it's a rebirth of the city. Like it's just reborn.
And you guys are from here, right?
Yeah,
I
was born and raised.
Okay.
My dad was military, so I moved all over, and then we were stationed at Port Bliss, and I met Shane. Then I went off to college at Texas State, and then I came back for him.
Yeah,
So.
really? We still keep in touch when she was in college.
That's awesome.
And she came back, and
it's all in the follow up, huh?
Yeah.
I told her, I'll call you in 4 years after you're done. And she was
When you gonna be done with that
no.
degree? 4 years?
She's like,
I'll call you up. That's really cool. But yeah, that is crazy. I mean, El Paso has had a rep that I think they've had for the last 10 years. I think it really started changing probably about 4 or 5 years ago when people became more accepting to support local. People started paying for tickets now. People started just doing things that, weren't against what people were trying to do. It's all about growth. And I think now that the city's aware of how much people are, like you guys, the entrepreneurs are trying to grow, a lot of people are starting to support that a lot more now too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we totally see that in our business. And we also try to support local businesses. Like we try to promote as much, like we have a lot of business owners at our gym, and I always try to network people. Like even I'm like today I networked a guy that owns a shopping center called the Substation in the West Side. Really nice, pretty shopping center. And my other client does outside, has a business for that.
Parking lot.
And, parking lots and all that. So I was like, hey, you guys should meet. This guy owns this guy owns this. Whenever you guys need something, you call each other. And I've always done that, and I love that. And
Setting
it just
up
always
the
comes back
connections,
to you. Yeah, it always comes back to you.
For sure. I think I'm a huge follower of Gary Vaynerchuk. I don't know if you guys follow him, but
Because it's too much.
he does. But he actually made a video about that the other day.
Really?
Somebody asked him, "Why do you cuss so much? Like, why is it necessary?"
Yeah.
And he replied, "It's just how I am. You know, like if I'm gonna be on camera 24/7, I'm not gonna be someone I'm not.
Yeah.
I cuss. Unfortunately, I cuss, and that's just him. You know.
Yeah.
So
No, I read his book, Crushing It.
crushing it is
It was
badass.
really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I went to this event in last January, and we're going again. I'm taking Violet and Sosa because they're part of my team. It was Agent 2021, and basically it was Gary's event, and he talked about where realtors should be promoting. That's the only reason why I started a vlog and started my podcast. I got back from that event January.
So pumped.
Got in contact. Her husband actually reached out to me and said,
Oh, yeah.
"Hey, if you need any help with anything, let me know. I could do this." And I'm like, "I need exactly that.
What
Like,
you said.
you're hired. Let's do this."
Yeah.
You know. And
That's
since
cool.
February 1st, that started, and since then we started this podcast. We've had so much momentum growing. We were doing content management. They were managing my social media. You know, but I think that event really opened my eyes to what I need to be doing, not what I was doing.
What was one thing
You know?
that really caught your eye?
So the biggest comeback was simply this. My first year in real estate, I hit 6 figures. I did good. I broke statistics. Because statistically speaking, 80% of realtors that get their license in their first year fail. But I had set the level of expectation as far as work and goals. It matched. So because of that, my first year, I was a realtor. I was a good realtor. When I went to this Gary V event, I came back understanding that I couldn't be a realtor anymore. If I wanted to go to the next level, I have to be a media company. And that's what I learned. I came back literally with a new business plan where I redeveloped everything. I reevaluated everything. I said, okay, I need to be pouring 60 to 80% of my profits back into my business. The other 20% is to live and survive, you know?
Yeah.
But the majority of this has to go into growing my team. And just 2 months ago, got my assistant now, and now I have somebody helping me with the podcast and going to this next event. We're going again in a week and a half for the second year.
Cool.
And he said it too. Gary said it. I guarantee you guys, next year's event, half of you guys will have videographers with you for your vlogs and for your podcast.
Wow.
And I'm going back with my videographer and my assistant. And it's crazy because that is really where we're at right now. Business owners, entrepreneurs. It really comes down to the tools, the platforms that we have to take advantage of.
Yeah.
And that's why I really like and admire what you guys are doing, because you guys are actively influencing people on social media at a huge scale compared to before 10 years ago, where we didn't have any of these things. And it was, you know, starting off as a trainer. Walk me through your first year as a trainer. How hard was it to kind of get
You know what,
your
that's
name
a
out there?
really good question, and I'm so glad you brought it up. Back in the days, even when you were, it was like 15 years ago, we used to pass out business cards. We had to go to doctor's office. We had to go to
at the
chiropractors.
buffets, outside the buffets.
I used to carry cards with me, and if I'd go to the store, I'd come back and put cards in every car, their windshield. And that's how you got business. And now it's so easy that you could just send a private message to somebody. Hey, would you like to personal train with me? These are some results. And people don't do it. Social media is getting people super lazy. I've seen it
Like,
with
it's so easy, and we've seen it with trainers time and time again, that they don't use all of the platforms that they have, all the tools in their
And I tell you guys are like the new generation. You should know all this Gary V stuff that you're missing out on.
And the thing is that if you don't know, you don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, a lot of people see social media and see their personal Instagram or Facebook account as, I'm not gonna post about work. It's my personal. I post about my
that's
family and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But I think people just have the wrong interpretation of what social media can actually do. Me personally, my business runs on Instagram.
That's true.
If Instagram tomorrow died,
Yeah. But you know what?
I will hurt.
Started a podcast.
That's why we're going heavy on the podcast.
But you know what? Something that that I've seen with the younger crowd is that they don't think about Facebook. They think about Instagram, Snapchat, and I was just I had a trainer meeting today, and I told them 80% of my business comes from Facebook. People that can afford personal training are in Facebook. They're not on Instagram. Like, I have lawyers, doctors there's another different world happening on Facebook, and I tell Lizzie, you're missing out. Like sometimes I'll talk to her clients and have inside jokes and mess around with them, and these guys are, the girls are OBGYN, like professional people that can network with you or can open doors for you. I'm like, you're missing out on all that.
Yeah.
Like don't like Gary says, do not ignore all the platforms.
No, I think you personally have to understand every platform, because every platform is completely different.
Yeah.
If you look at the platforms and how they've changed over the years, you had Twitters and then you had Snapchat, which were, I mean, they're still used, but attention has been going a lot now, my opinion, to Instagram, only because the attention span has gotten shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. And for my opinion, my personal evaluation of social media is that Facebook and other platforms have a lot of noise where you have to sift through some good
That's
stuff.
how I feel. That's
Where
how I feel.
Instagram's a little
everybody's
faster.
pictures of their kids,
Yeah.
like all
Right.
day.
Instagram is a picture can either captivate you and make you stop scrolling, because really, when I think of social media and thinking of being, having that different mindset, coming back and now understanding I gotta be a media company, having that mentality and understanding the grasp that people have on attention, you have to understand how quick you have to grab somebody's attention, because if 2 seconds, 3 seconds, you don't have somebody's attention, this little movement that we've been so accustomed to is so normal to somebody that 2 seconds, boom, 2 seconds,
But
2
I
seconds,
feel
2 seconds.
you guys are right, but I feel 40 people, 40, 45 and above don't do that. Like we actually read stuff. Like on Facebook.
My mom was
No, my Facebook is like a newspaper in the mornings.
really
Like I'm looking at stuff like lawyers that are sharing interesting articles that they read.
Exactly.
A TED Talk that one of my friends that we share like stuff like if you were on Facebook and you shared a TED Talk, I'm like, I'd be interested. I was like, what is this guy doing? I want to be like,
And see, how hard is it to share a TED Talk on Instagram? You can't, because it's 60 seconds. So that's why I think understanding each platform, because Facebook and Twitter are more of a textual, longer form of marketing, where it comes down to Instagram and Snapchat, very quick. Until I get your attention or I don't, So hitting every single market and making sure that you don't miss out on those people, because at the end of the day, every night, not even 99%, 110% of every single person living in this world has to at one point care about their health. So for you to only focus on one is, focusing on the Facebook and Instagram, even if you guys are doing it, your niche is Instagram, yours is Facebook. At least you guys got that opposite of, you guys can work together and combine.
And that happens even with our race. What is it called, race, or what do you call it? Like I'm Hispanic. Demographic.
Demographic.
Like I'm Hispanic, Like even like the same thing,
Yeah.
Yours is Hispanic.
And
Yeah,
it's
like he'll post like Spanish memes and stuff like that. They're funny,
Yeah, and she does all the other stuff.
Yeah. We're not gonna sound racist on this show. No, that's funny, but I think that's really good that you guys found each other, because it seems like you guys since 10 years ago have been kind of a glove and support system for each other.
We complement each other really well.
I mean, and you probably have talked about this on your own podcast, and we'll get into your podcast too, but what do you feel has really helped you guys grow as a couple, not only relationship wise, but business as well, and create this kind of business?
Definitely, I would say like going through the hard times and just having each other's back. Like when you go through hard times, like some drama happens in our business or something like that, like me and Shane have just always been there for each other, and that's what's really kept our relationship strong for 10 years.
Really?
It's like
once
when
you're with
see
somebody.
that nobody.
Once you're with somebody that your bank account's been negative for the past 3 months, and they're sticking with you.
They're a writer, huh?
Like you're not gonna mess that trust that you've had over those years for somebody,
Yeah.
a random person, mess it up.
I think that's really what it comes down to too in relationships. I think relationships nowadays, I grew up in the era, I mean, even though I'm young, you guys are young too. Maybe you didn't experience it. You're too young. I just turned 30.
Oh.
Yeah. But I grew up where, it was cool to hand out notes to each other and express yourself.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Now they have like the swipe left, swipe right. It's just like so fast relationships, and they don't work on relationships.
Right. I think everything's just become about speed. Everything's been about speed, and when you're used to such a platform that it's easy to reject someone with a simple swipe, and you come face to face with people, those social skills tend to go out the window, because now if you don't like somebody, it's just like in your mind you're like,
yeah.
and they're like, they're still there. It's like, you know. So I think some of that has to do a lot with, as far as like how relationships don't work out, because you see that, and I hear about a lot of couples that get together and try and create the empire, but one party's not on board, or one party doesn't have the same vision.
Yeah.
So
you definitely have to have the vision aligned and your faith and everything the same. I agree.
Yeah, it was at the beginning. It was a little bit hard because you were kind of like a little young and wanted to do a lot of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
With you know, with the money, and I'm like, you know,
with the money. That's good, and that's how you kind of you guys have kind of created that discipline within yourself too in creating that business, because you guys have literally built a gym. I mean, if you guys are following them on social media, you'll see them at your gym, and your gym looks very updated, and you know, you got some good equipment in there.
Well, first we had like a personal training studio, and it was more very boutique, and we catered to more of like high-end clients. And then we just saw that it wasn't really working in El Paso, so we rebranded the whole gym, and it was called New You Fitness, and now it's called Sun City Athletic Club. And we rebranded it into more of like a hardcore bodybuilding style. So we have pictures of like Arnold. We have like the old style dumbbells, kind of like a Metroflex. I don't know if you've ever seen what a Metroflex is.
So
kind of
what we've seen, like friends of ours that have opened gyms in other cities, or people that we follow on Instagram, they're more leaning more towards a warehouse style gym.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Tall
ceilings with turf. You could throw the weights around, not like a global gym. You know what I mean? And there's a market for everything, you know?
Right.
And our market is that, you know?
And it's been really working well for us.
Yeah.
So how does your business structure? Are you guys on a membership basis? Is this
Yes, So we have memberships. It's an open gym. And then we have personal trainers as well. So we have like 10 different trainers, and people can choose if they want to be with a trainer or just work out on their own.
And what works well is that we're always there. That's our passion. You know, like I read a book one time that said, well, if you have millions of dollars, what would you do for free? And I tell them, this is what I'm doing right now. Like I love to personal train. Like I see myself waking up in the morning a millionaire, going to work, trying to impact a person's life. You know what I mean? Helping people that can't afford personal training. Like I would tell this lady that she would tell me, I pray to God each day to help me lose weight. And I tell her, you're blessed. You're financially blessed to afford a trainer 4 days a week. It's all on you now.
God's doing his part. He put the trainer in front of you.
I tell her, it's all on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we love helping people out and educating them about nutrition. So every single client that we get, we sit down with them. We go over to nutrition, how they should be eating. We do their body measurements. It's just like 100% customer
And that's when we came out with
service.
our movement, the Lift Fit EP movement.
So talk to me a little bit about that.
So the couple of years ago, how long has it been now? Like 5-6 years ago? 5-6 years ago, I was just scrolling through TED Talks, and I saw a title that said, Mayor makes city lose 1,000 pounds or 1 million pounds.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Wait a minute. So I just started listening to it, and it's right now. It's on TED Talks, and it's the Oklahoma mayor that made Oklahoma lose
a million pounds.
So the way he starts is that he says that when they built the city, it was made not for people; it was for cars. Right? Everything that he describes is like El Paso. He's describing El Paso. So what he
did,
you
can't walk anywhere, you can't bike anywhere.
You can't bike without getting
run over. Meant to drive.
Yeah,
meant to drive everywhere.
Yeah, he says it's not meant for people to live here. So he started doing a bunch of stuff in the city. They had like an Escada de Lake, like us, and nobody used to even do it. And now it's so well kept that the Olympic trials are now held there.
Really?
For the Olympics.
In the lake.
So he just transformed the whole city, and we just got so inspired. And instead of saying, El Paso sucks, how come people don't do that? We started doing it. You know, we started going, you know what? We should start doing that. We went to the mayor, we talked to them, we talked to Oscar Leeser, and Oscar Leeser says, what do you guys have in mind? I told him we want to do a fitness festival with different sporting events, free to the public.
Well, remember we went to Mexico and we saw like a big fitness festival that was happening on the streets.
Yeah.
And we're like, that would be so cool in El Paso because it was just like open. Everybody was like doing Zumba and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're like, that would be so cool in El Paso. So that's when we went downtown and we talked to the mayor and we told them, hey, like we're going to do this fitness festival. So we were talking to the city and everything. And the first year we did do it outside downtown. We closed down the streets and it was super cool. We had bodybuilding, jiu-jitsu, CrossFit and vendors and stuff like that.
That's
on the
really
street.
cool.
Powerlifting.
We made it free to the public so that they could all come.
And friends of ours from other cities were like, nobody's ever done that in Dallas. Nobody's ever done in Phoenix. Like all these supposedly healthy cities.
Right.
Nobody's ever done a sporting event for free in the middle of downtown, and we did it. You know, we did it for free. We slept 4 hours a whole weekend, right? And I
So
told
one thing entrepreneurs miss out on is sleep.
The first 2 years we made no money from it, no sleepless nights, everything. You know, we barely started money after the third year, and it was just our passion and for the movement. You know,
That's really cool that you guys did that because you offered a free event that was not in your favor. It wasn't like you were making money off of it,
Yeah.
but
We just wanted to make
you
up
started
for
it, you
that.
pushed it, but you really pushed it for the city because
Yeah.
for a long time, El Paso was known as a obese city, right?
and so was Oklahoma. And he said, it's my goal to get it off that list, and he did it. Like he says that, and men's health, it's off the list now. You know, I told Lizzie, imagine one day we could be like that, and we're like, we're gonna do it. And now, if you see El Paso, how it's becoming, it will happen. Just
Yeah,
wait.
I guarantee it too. Because
And our event's grown dramatically.
Really?
Like amazing. Our hashtag on Instagram, hashtag LiftFitDP, has like a 12,000 hashtags. Like we
Really?
just encourage people, whenever you do a fitness activity, hashtag it on your Instagram, just so we can show LiftFitDP, so we can show people that there's actually fitness happening in El Paso.
yeah,
Because
and you're talking about fitness, like
anything.
Anything, like if you're
Walking,
hiking,
hiking,
anything, like if you're
running.
doing it, just tag.
We started with
Yeah.
4 events, now we have like 6 now. Look, we have strongman, powerlifting, bodybuilding, karate, jiu-jitsu.
and bodybuilding. Did you say
Body-
bodybuilding?
I didn't-
I don't know. There's 6 of it. I think
How many
there's
was that?
bodybuilding and then karate, jiu-jitsu. I'm trying to think of the layout of the place. We had a kid zone, CrossFit. I think we're gonna say CrossFit. CrossFit's the biggest one. It's
So
the
the
desert games.
CrossFit is like crazy. Like
Yeah.
we sell out of entries. Like we have 300
So
participants.
we teamed up with I don't know if you've ever met them, Mark and Amy Duchesne. They live
CrossFit
on the east side of
95?
El Paso.
no.
CrossFit
They're like the
95.
Shane and Lizzie from the east side. yeah. They're really nice, but they're really introvert.
So you guys are on the west side, right?
Yeah,
now?
uh-huh.
Okay.
Really introvert, but really sweet people.
They're like the Shane and Lizzie.
Anyways, well, it just has grown dramatically.
Really?
Like thousands and thousands of people come on in the news. We got this is our first year that we had a major supplement company come, which is GAT Nutrition, and what I tell, and we go to other cities and other expos, and we're hanging with them. Like it's not bad. Like we're there, you know.
That's awesome.
And all we need is big supplement companies or big sponsors to come, because what we've been doing is getting the event with 50 or 60 booths. That's how we pay for the event, with booths.
People,
You know what I mean?
people paying.
Yeah,
to-
$300 booths.
Yeah.
We just like
And there's business
sell
there.
them,
I mean,
yeah.
you guys are bringing in business. for
Yeah,
these
and you know
vendors.
what? Fitness just helps out everybody. Like
Yeah.
even in your line of work, people want to live where it's a fit city. Like
Yeah.
people want to move to Austin, to Scottsdale, to Denver. Because
Right.
people are outside doing stuff.
Yeah.
And why can't we do this? 365 beautiful days a year, dude. We could
have the
totally
most
do this
sunshine
here.
ever,
And then it's
yeah.
gonna happen. It is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Before I used to be like, why can't it happen here? And now I'm like, it's happening. It's happening.
So where do you guys see El Paso in the next 5 years?
What do you see?
I see it becoming like Phoenix.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
little bit like
Phoenix, I love Phoenix.
Yeah.
I love Phoenix because I'm actually a vegetarian, a little vegan. I eat a little cheese. But going to Arizona, I was super impressed last year because there's so many options and they were all walking distance too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
like
walked
California,
everywhere,
too.
everywhere.
And then you like sometimes we'll go to Scottsdale and then we're eating and you overhear people talking about diet and oh I'm doing this diet, oh I'm doing this workout, and you're like, wow, like you never hear this in your city, you know?
So
But-
what do you think is one of the biggest issues when it comes down to people dieting
Uh-huh.
or staying fit?
I think
Not
we have so many
information.
restaurants, like
Oh,
especially
yeah.
on the east side. There's so many
There's so
restaurants,
much good
and
food in
everybody
the
eats
city,
out.
huh?
There's so much good food,
Yeah.
and everybody eats out all the time.
See,
I was back
do you
in
think-
Juarez. If I was living in Juarez, I would not be a bodybuilder. I would not be a
If you're
bodybuilder.
professional at taco, hold the record,
Like
Shane.
tacos.
200 tacos.
She doesn't like pizza. If she liked pizza, I would be
You
so
don't like pizza?
overweight.
I like
Yeah, she gets
Oh
heartburn.
man, I've never met anyone.
Right? She like
Oh, you
pizza?
get, it's
I
good
would-
I mean,
tomato.
I like the taste, but
It's a
I
good
get
tomato.
heartburn, so
Yeah.
that's why I don't like
It's
it.
a tomato or the pepperoni. If you're
Yeah.
eating that.
No, she doesn't eat pepperoni, so it's a tomato sauce.
Yeah, it's a tomato.
The only kind of pizza I like is without tomato sauce and with pineapples, and
Yeah.
she thinks it's super weird.
I actually love. So I only eat cheese pizza. That's a cheese
Yeah.
pizza. But I get cheese with no tomato sauce too.
Yeah, yeah, I
It's
like
super
it.
good.
It's a quesadilla.
It's
Yeah.
like a cheesy bread.
Right? So, do you think part of that? I mean, aside from there being good food, do you think there's just a lack of education when it comes down to
Definitely.
food?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, especially with the Hispanic culture, we see a lot of myths. Like they'll tell them like, you should eat something light at
Yeah.
dinner, like cereal or something. Like, no, cereal is not light. It's full of sugar. You're just
Carbs.
putting sugar into your body while you go to sleep, and you're not even gonna burn it off.
Right.
You know, so there's a lot of little things like that I see. Or like one time, Shane knew a guy that he lost like 70 pounds. He's like, bro, how did you lose all the weight? He's like, I stopped eating with tortillas. I started eating with a fork. Yeah,
You
like, he would
just
eat
grab
everything
it
all
With
with
every meal.
tortillas.
With every meal.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
funny.
Oh, there's so many stories you could tell us.
So, wow, I've never heard that. What do you think is probably one of the biggest misconceptions when it comes down to losing weight?
That your food needs to taste like crap.
Yeah. that's
Like you
true.
could eat delicious food, you know, like especially if you know how to cook. And nowadays there's so much YouTube videos,
Pinterest, recipes,
Like
everything.
Lizzie just follows the recipe sometimes on Pinterest to the T, and it comes out amazing.
Yeah.
Like you just have to
I've
follow
seen, I've
directions.
followed your stories
Yeah.
where you're like, let's try this, like she's made this.
Yeah, I'm always like cooking up different ways
Yeah.
to make it taste
Yeah.
good, you know.
That's cool, and I think that's a big misconception too when it comes down to like vegetarian or vegan food. Is like people think you have to eat cardboard,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or you have to eat just
Grass,
salad, and,
yeah.
and it's like it's. I
Yeah.
mean, there's so much good food now. I mean, we're living in the future.
And so many
It's
options.
2019 now, you know.
There's no sugar-free stuff. Now there's like sugar-free this, sugar-free that. I'm like, there's no almond milk coffee or nothing. And now there's so many healthy options everywhere you
Yeah.
go.
And I think another misconception that a lot of people think, oh, I'm gonna need to train super hard and run and everything to get in shape. Like, oh, my knees are not meant for running and stuff like that. No,
Yeah.
like you can lose weight just weight training.
Yeah.
You can lose weight just walking on the
You can lose
treadmill.
weight doing
There's like,
Zumba.
yeah, whatever you like to do, as
Yeah.
long as you're active and you're eating right. You
Yeah,
can
as long as you focus on nutrition. Everything
nutrition
will-
is 70% of it.
Yeah.
everything.
That's why they say abs are made in the kitchen.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice
Oh yeah, like I
question.
remember that my trainer, well, I was blessed to have like really good, like 4 to 5 really good teachers. And some of the trainer, my first trainer would get me on the treadmill and be like, okay, you're gonna walk here for 35 minutes on an incline, this and that. And I was walking, I was like, I'm not gonna burn fat, just walking. And after like 15
You're like looking
minutes,
at everyone run.
no, after
I'm gonna
15
run.
minutes, I started getting soaked, like sweating. And I was like, oh my God, this is a workout, you know?
Yeah.
I was like struggling to walk up an incline, you know? And that's a misconception. People think they have to run so much, so many miles a week. No, you
Yeah.
just have to take care of your nutrition, be active, move around, don't be lazy, and that's it. You know, you lose weight.
Yeah. So someone as active as me, because I'll tell you personally, that was my first meal of the day, and that it was right now, like an hour
Pizza?
ago. I know. Dude, I started like right when I walked in with the pizza, I was like, I hope we finish this pizza before Shane and Lizzie get here, because we have to
It's like
train.
breakfast.
I put on my story that I'm gonna ask you guys how I can get a 6-pack, and I know I set myself up for failure. So you're gonna say, don't eat that. So, but somebody as active as myself, like I'm literally working all day, and she could tell you we sometimes really don't have time to eat even. And meal prepping is definitely an option. I've tried that. But what steps can I take as active as I am, someone who's driving all day, to stay active? And maybe if I don't have time for the gym, how quick of a workout can I get in to really, stay in shape?
Well, I feel like you have
45
to.
minutes to an
Yeah,
hour.
45 minutes to an hour. There's no such thing as a 10-minute abs or 30 minutes. I'm like,
Your body doesn't go into fat burning mode until 30 minutes in.
Really?
Yeah, like you have to put
There's
the time in.
certain amount of calories
Yeah.
that has to.
And right now, I mean, you don't see it. Like, thank God that you haven't gotten sick. But I've had clients. Like one time, I had a client that was over 300 pounds, and he would tell me, "I don't have diabetes. Like, I don't have a high cholesterol." And I have doctors that I train, and every time I train a doctor, I pick their brains, And I tell him, "Doc, how do you explain this person? Like, he has no diabetes. He's overweight. He doesn't listen to me. This and that." He's like,
So-
"Shane, don't change oil in the car for like a year and a half, and just wait what happens. Everything's gonna be wrong with it. Everything."
all at once.
Yeah, all at once. When you don't change the oil, the motor, everything gets messed up. So that's the same thing with the human body. Keep that lifestyle till you're 40 years old and see what happens. The lifestyle that you're living is what the car salesmen live. All the car salesmen that I grew up when I was 18, 19, they're all dead, bro. Like, honestly, like I tell you the names, look, this, I used to hang out with this guy, with this guy, with this guy. All the pressures of selling, all the pressures of eating one meal a day,
right?
It all catches up to you, bro. Like right now it's not important because you're 30, you're in the high of your life, and
But
when you're 40, you're gonna be like, oh, I wish.
What the fuck happened?
I'm tired, bro.
Yeah. And I personally, like, I meditate. I do a lot of things because I do feel like in order for me to run fully, you know, at 110% potential, people that I talk to, I mean, I'm doing great in real estate, and some people tell me I'm in my prime, but I personally think being in your prime is not only business-wise, but it's health-wise, relationship-wise. And, you know, when it comes down to meditating, it's helped me with relationships and with living my life free of anxiety and things like that. But when it comes down to diet, I understand that diet is the most important thing, because at the end of the day, no amount of money can buy that health back, you know?
No, I think one thing that you need to do is just prepare ahead of time, like non-perishable things that you can take with you on the go, like a protein shake. Bring a scoop of protein with you. Well, like, you're vegan, right? So vegan protein, there's tons of them. The Vega Sport, that's the best brand because
I have that one.
Yeah, so bring that with
Chipotle, you have like a go-to fast food restaurant that you go to.
I actually have many of those.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean,
everywhere. Carl's
fast food
Jr.,
has healthy
Burger
options. Like, everywhere has healthy options. You just have to choose them on the go. And have stuff prepared ahead of time, especially like your breakfast. That's an important meal that you can cook yourself.
Get your workouts done in the beginning of the day, when nobody's calling, nobody's texting you.
Yeah, that's one thing that I realized. I used to meditate and then go to the gym. Be out by 9
on the treadmill.
Yeah.
I mean,
really?
Yeah,
bro,
we listen to like the meditations and we're just on the
treadmill.
treadmill.
Like sometimes I'm on the treadmill, like crying, like meditating, bro. Like, we're like I meditate.
Floating in the air. We're like, what is he doing? What kind of workout is that?
I go at 4 in the morning. Like, the gym opens at 5. I go at 4 in the morning. Nobody, like, the whole gym is empty. Like, I'm just praying for the gym, for the people that are gonna come, to be filled with love, no negativity, this and that. You know, it's really cool. It's like it's like a ritual. I love it. You know.
That's really cool. So walk me through. Talking about rituals, walk me through your morning routine. You get up at 4 in the morning.
No, like at 3:35.
Yeah.
So what is that morning routine like?
Yeah, so we wake up, we get our stuff together, get on all our clothes, go to the gym, do our cardio.
No, I go first at 3:35, right? Yeah, we go at
I mean, I go sometimes with him, or sometimes I do the treadmill at my house.
Yeah, I have a treadmill for at home because girls take longer to get ready, you know? So I'm the one that
No,
goes.
he takes longer to get ready. That is not true. He takes longer. Like, I can get all of the supplements together, our protein shakes made, I'm done, I'm ready, and he's still upstairs, like, putting his pants on. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, just like take my time.
He's in there making the Instagram videos.
In the shower. No, in the shower.
Hey guys, still got a shirt. This is waiting for me outside. Now he knows what you're doing, bro.
You're right.
Hey, Lizzie's outside. Hurry up.
So we wake up, we go do our cardio. So we try to do 50 minutes to an hour of cardio.
Awesome.
That's when we're like getting ready for competitions. When we're not, it's usually like about 30 to 45 minutes. So we do that, then we go home, we shower, get ready, and then he starts clients at 5:30 a.m. and I start clients at 6 a.m. So we have clients then until 8, and at 8 we work out. We do our own workout just by ourselves, whatever we need to work.
You dedicate a time for yourself. Like in that time, I used to always put in clients in there. Like, let's say you were gonna leave out of town and catch in an airplane, and I'll be like, hey, wait, can you train me at 8? I'm like, okay, well, come on, so you don't miss your workout. Yeah. So there, I didn't work out for that day. Even
because as a business owner, I think you want to be reliable. You want to be there.
Yeah, and it's not that you're greedy, you want more money. No, that you want to go ahead, like, do everything you can for that customer.
Right.
And Lizzie would tell me, you need to set a time for yourself. No matter if your client, if you love that client, do not let them go in at 8. Yeah. So we do that till about like 11. So like from 5:30 to 11, we usually have like a little break during the middle of the day, where we like rest or we do errands and stuff like that. We come back.
We do all our podcasting, we do our social media and stuff in the middle of the day.
And then we come back like at 4:30 or 5, and we end our day like at 8. Come back home, cook our breakfast for the next day. So the trick is cook your breakfast for the next day. Like,
prepare the day before for the next day.
Yeah, don't wing it till the next day. Like we eat the same thing every day. Like she has these 2 waffles that she does, the wheat waffles that are like, what are they?
They're the Vans gluten-free waffles.
So we put them in the thing, and then she does some eggs, and she does them like in little throwaway Tupperware.
Mm-hmm.
We buy them at Shamrock. So it's like 150 meal prep things that you could just throw away, toss.
Really?
Yeah, $22 for that.
What?
Yeah.
So we don't.
That's
wash.
one of the reasons why I don't milk.
Yeah, you don't want to wash
I
these.
have
Those
Tupperware
things
in the
I don't want to
kitchen
watch, and I don't want to
everything,
deal with them.
Yeah, I was washing so much because we both eat 6 meals a day.
So
So I was
imagine
washing
12
so many dishes that I was like, I
dishes
can't
a
do this
day.
anymore. So we
So
got
12
this.
Tupperwares. So I know it's bad for the environment, but it's my kids will deal with that. I don't care. You know?
My kids will do
Sorry, kids. Mom and dad were hungry. Didn't have time to clean.
bodybuilders trying to eat 6 meals.
No, yeah, and then pues yeah, that's what we do. We cook our meals for the next day. That's like what I tell my clients: don't wing it. When you wing it, it's not gonna happen.
Life happens when you wing it.
Oh, yeah.
And life gets in the way, I think.
Oh yeah.
Like it could get crazy.
Yeah, so it's all about preparing ahead of time and having stuff for if you get in a bind and you're working super hard, you
Right.
can get a protein shake.
Yeah, and have a plan B. Like for example, like I tell some of my clients sometimes, like, let's say you don't have dinner at home and you went to lunch to go eat at Subway. Get that 6-inch Subway for lunch, and for night, get that salad, take it with you to work, because at night, that's where you're gonna eat for dinner.
Yeah.
You know, instead of reaching for the chips or cereal at night because you were too lazy to cook or you don't have any groceries, you have that, you know, food
Because when
ready
you're
for
not
you.
prepared, I think what happens is you look for the convenience factor.
Yeah.
And convenience is everything.
And you know what
And
else I was
machines.
talking to my kids about? Is that people have lost the respect for food. Like in the Bible, in the First Testament, it would say that people would pray for the knives, that they would kill the animals. When they would cook the food, they would pray for it. Like food was sacred. And when
Yeah.
I was brought up, my mom would teach me like food is sacred. You don't deny food to anybody. You respect food, this and that. And nowadays, kids are eating. I see kids eating with their phones like this, and even like I catch myself sometimes. I put it down and I'm like, dude, you need to respect the food that you're eating. So I catch myself.
As
and
a
I just say,
vegetarian, I think that is true too. Just because I respect 100% like the cultures and the families that kill their animals, but in the respectful way where they use every single piece of that. You know, like
Oh yeah.
like there's cultures that are, you know, and who knows where, but they use every single piece of that animal. They pray over that animal,
Yeah.
and I think pour yourself some more.
Yeah.
Pour yourself some more. I think
I'll
food
try some.
is very secret. No, that's the same when
Secret.
you were drinking.
Is this
This is the other one.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
taste this one.
Basil Hayden's is
Oh.
amazing. That's my favorite.
Alright.
But I think food is very sacred too, and it does get to my nerves too that people don't pay attention on the dinner table. They're all about this, you know.
I think with meditation, you learn to be at the moment and to respect
Right.
food. You know, respect food, be in the moment, and enjoy the food that you're eating. And I feel like when you
And
do that,
I feel like too that helps you with the weight loss journey as well, because if you're thinking about the food that you're eating instead of staring at the TV and just eating a ton of it,
Right.
you know, that's when you're gonna start to lose weight as well, or
Right.
have healthy weight for your body because you're not mindless eating.
One thing too about eating that I learned, because I'm really bad at this, is I eat so quick. Like I'm like, you know,
we
like
eat fast.
Yeah,
too.
we eat fast.
Between clients, we eat like super
yeah.
fast.
But I did read that eating fast is really bad for your body too. You really need to slow down.
yeah.
Chew your food,
And my
right?
mom's telling me all the time.
Yeah.
My mom's always like, "Slow down, you don't have teeth in your stomach." Last time she was like, "Did you just finish eating?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have teeth in my stomach." She was just like I caught her before she told me that, so she got us stuck like. And before she realized it, I had left already.
She's like, wait, the Shane just grows his teeth in his stomach.
It's a clap back.
You left her. You just. That's really funny. So, you guys started this gym. You guys started changing lives in a studio. You guys started by buying some music equipment and little by little filling this thing up, right? So, walk me through that transition from being in that studio to then taking that next level and opening up.
Well, the most impressive part is that we did it on our own without any loans.
That's awesome.
Like we bought used gym equipment. You know, I've always thought about that. It's not the equipment; it's the people that make a restaurant, that make a place. You know, and we didn't get like crappy equipment, but we would get like semi decent. You know, and we didn't get any loans. We bought machine per machine. Every month we buy 2 machines, 1 machine, and right now we have about
just putting all the profit back in.
yeah, we counted last time. I counted like 60 machines, 65 machines that we have, including treadmills, stairmasters.
Right now.
Yeah, right now. And I tell myself like, I remember when I bought that one. And one time I read about the best gyms in the United States, and they interviewed the owner, and they said, what do you think they asked one of the guys, like, why do you like this gym so much instead of going to like a big fancy gym where they have all these machines? He's like, I love this gym because I know that the owner chose every machine specifically because he liked it and he knew it was a purpose. And that's exactly how my gym is. Like, if you go to it, you'll see it. Every machine, me and Lizzie chose them.
Every
like, we didn't
machine
go
has a
like
story. We would like.
Yeah.
We went through so much.
yeah. We didn't go like, oh yeah,
That's awesome.
let's get 3 of those, 3 of those, 3 of these. No, like we were like,
Red,
we need
blue,
this.
and white.
Yeah, like all these like, or sometimes I'll have like, thank God I don't have that client anymore. But I remember he would give me so much business advice, and I'm like, dude, your great grandpa, it was a millionaire. He gave you this business, and you're trying to give me business advice. I would be more impressed, and I would respect you more
If you created it.
Yeah, from the ground up, bro. You know, and I'm like, really, you know?
Yeah, so basically we just opened up a small little warehouse that was over off Sunset, and then it had a space open next to it. So we had already grown out of that space. We went into the space next to it, made it a little bigger. We grew out of that space. We went to a retail center. And then we figured out we were paying way too much for rent. We were getting really screwed over on a retail center.
Really?
So, so that's when we were like, you know what, we need to change our business model and everything. And that's
And you know what it's